Hello, and welcome to the Kosh. I'm your host, Timber Smith, and the Kosh is a podcast that highlights people who've had an association with Oshkosh or the surrounding Fox Valley area. Thank you for coming back this week. I'm super excited. I'm going to tell you right now, this is going to be an interesting show. I'm super excited about who we got as a guest. I'm going to tell you right now, the show is already kicked off. Bosco, the podcast dog, is up here being naughty as possible, messing with the guest. So they're already like, good Lord, what did I get myself into? And now Bosco decided that he's going to come here. Bosco one day is going to get his own episode, y'all. I'm telling you, we're in for it. So, but once again, I have an amazing guest. I don't know why I always get lucky enough to get all these amazing guests, but I am super excited about who this week's guest is because I've known them for a very, very long time. Just a great gentleman, an ambassador of the Kosh on all levels. So, without further ado. Ooh, I'm going to do that again. Casey Jackson. Casey, how you doing over there?
Doing pretty good, Timber. How are you?
I'm doing really, really good. Have you done any other podcasts before?
No, this is actually my first one.
This the first one?
This is my first one.
Well, then I feel kind of honored about it. I'm feeling good about this. This is going to be a good time. Since I do believe this might be my first episode of Black History Month, this is the right way to kick it off.
There we go.
There we go.
I like that.
That's right, because KCU is definitely part of Oshkosh Black History. That's how I feel about it.
Oshkosh Black History. I like that.
You like that? I do believe that is appropriate in this case. Casey, can you please share a little something about yourself and what is your connection to the Kosh?
Well, my connection to the Kosh is, I played college basketball at, not actually in Oshkosh, but at Marion. But I was always, we played against Oshkosh a lot, whatnot, but I was always in this area. I kind of like this area when I used to come and visit. I'm originally from Louisiana. Played 2 years of college ball in southern part of Illinois, but then transferred to Marion. So my connection to Oshkosh is basically just from my time of being in school and coming here to visit. Became friends with some people, quite a few people.
Quite a few.
Quite a few. But then decided that I wanted to live here in Oshkosh. So moved after I was done with school and whatnot. Came to Oshkosh and pretty much been here ever since.
Okay. And how long is that?
Oh, wow.
I'm going to call it out.
You put me on blast.
I'm putting you on blast.
Man.
Bruh.
19, I was here before that, but I came to Oshkosh, I think it was 92, 93.
Okay. All right.
But I was in Wisconsin before that. So.
Yeah. All right. That's when I came to Oshkosh.
Yeah. That's who was included in some of those people that I met that I became good friends with.
This is true. This is very, very true.
That was a good time in my life, man. When I met you all and you and the rest of you guys, man. That could lead into what it says, what in the world is, even though we're not there yet, but I'm like, what is those guys doing?
Yeah, I hear you.
I would love to see a bunch of those guys again.
Oh, yeah. And I'll tell you, what we're referring to, there was I recently did an article for the Post Crescent in the Northwestern, and it was about the demographic change that has happened here. It was about the census, the numbers that have happened in this latest 2020 census, and the demographic change, the growing number of people of color in the region. And I got hit for some quotes for it. And one of the things I talked about what it felt like when I first came here. And when I first came here, I was like, and of course I'm exaggerating, but it felt like you knew every black person from Fond du Lac through Green Bay. And I also talked about, even more importantly, I talked about how, because there was so few, that while I was going to college here, that we had people in the community who didn't go to college here, but they basically were like family, just people who were locals of the community, who were black, and they felt like aunts and uncles. And, you don't really get that in college, where the students get to connect with locals and it's tight. And we were tight.
And no, not to cut you off, man, but that's the thing that I appreciate about you guys. You was in your frat or not, but you guys, because most, you find some frats that they don't want it. They don't want any outsiders, coming in, whatnot, this and that, man. But just, like you said, y'all brought me in and kind of made me like a part of y'all family.
Oh yeah! Shout out to Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. Much love to my brothers out there. Yeah, no doubt. And it was like a really tight-knit family. And what makes me even happier about that whole scenario is we've remained friends. When we see each other out here, it's still a good feeling. And like, these folks, like I've known you for 30. We know these folks, and that's just and there's a consistency, there's a love, there's just a really good feeling about all of that.
Oh yeah.
All right. Okay. You ready to jump into the first segment? All right.
Be like Tone Loc. Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. First segment. It's called "What in the World is Going On With?" And that is where you start with the phrase "What in the world is going on with?" and you share something that's going on in your mind.
What in the world is going on with driving in Oshkosh?
Bruh. Ooh, I can't wait.
What the world is going on with driving in Oshkosh? Man, I don't want to put people on blast, but we got to have people, when you're driving in Oshkosh, be concerned with other drivers. I don't know. I don't want to totally get into it, but one of my biggest pet peeves is when people get right up on your bumper. I mean,
bruh.
It's like, seriously, especially now with the way the weather is. You don't know when someone's going to have to hit their brakes. It's like, stay back a little bit. And if it's 2 lanes, and if you want to go real fast and that person's going too slow, get in the other lane, please. Let's just start being courteous of other drivers. You're better off getting there. So drive safely.
Facts. I'm 100 with you. Yeah, there's not much more to add to that. Since you're doing that, I'm just gonna add on to yours real quick. But I got my own. The whole driving thing. My thing is people with 4-wheel drive who in the winter when there's snow out and it's slick, acting like they'll never slide.
Yeah,
like, come on now. Look, I get it. You got 4-wheel drive. I do too. But I still don't want you doing like 70, 80 down the street when it's fresh snow, or that it's a really cold day when it's possibly icy. Look, let's we all on these roads. Let's try to get along.
Exactly.
All right, I feel you on that one. What in the world is going on with? What in the world is going on with the NFL? Black coaches, or lack thereof, and the possibility that we up here and we got owners who might be paying out coaches to lose.
Yeah,
and particularly they might be paying out the black coaches to lose, so then they messing them up for the future.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but because I watch the show First Take every morning and whatnot, and I sit there and I listen to Stephen A. Smith.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm getting ready to say I can't believe that I actually agree with him. but Stephen A. said the other day he would love to see some white coach come out and say that this actually happened to them as well, because he said if there isn't any that comes out and say anything, then basically that these owners are say, hey, we can take this black coach and make them do this, So he's saying he would really love to see if there's any white coaches that had this happen to them, but so far I haven't heard anyone come out.
Well, it's, and I mean, the sad part about it is, I wouldn't doubt if there was, but I'm scared that there's gonna be crickets.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to lose. No one wants to lose their job permanently, right? Because at the point in which you come out with it, you're gonna be blacklisted, right? But I do feel as if I was having this conversation with somebody the other day, and they were like, why would you do that to your career? And what can you do after? And I was like, well, there's always college, right? Because, college, I really do think they hire coaches that are going to build character and integrity in these young men, right? Because they're in their developmental stage. Winning is good, and you do still want to win, but at the end of the day, it's also, that is purely the point of college, is growth and development. And you want people of character to lead the young men down that road. And I can't think of anything, this gentleman who's come out, Brian Flores, he's shown a lot of character, because he knows however this turns out, he done in the NFL.
And that's exactly it. If he's lying,
well, he ain't lying.
But I'm saying, if they said he's lying, what does he have to gain? He just put his career on line.
Right.
That was career suicide.
It was career suicide. And you hate to think like that, because you would hope that integrity is celebrated.
True.
But it ain't.
Here's a guy that was still a finalist for a job, and he fell on the sword.
Yeah, but he wasn't. That was what it was all about. The point is he was supposedly a finalist, but then he received the text message from Bill Belichick that they had already picked who it was, but he hadn't had his interview yet, and they still had it scheduled.
Yeah, that one. But he was still, after he did that and came out, he was still a finalist for
two others.
Yes.
Yes, he was.
So, and it's like, well, you don't know if you're going to get the job, but he's like, that didn't matter, which he's like, he's standing for how he felt, which I know exactly happened, and I kind of went with Keyshawn Johnson. He's like, if that would have been me, Bill would have texted me and said congratulations. Bill just didn't know he was texting the wrong person. Right. And it's like, that's crazy. You just text this guy and said congratulations, and he didn't even have his interview yet.
He texted Ron Bryan.
Yeah,
exactly. He didn't have in there which Bryan was which Bryan. He had Bryan, so he got confused.
And that told Brian Flores all he needed to know is that these guys already know who they're gonna hire.
Right. And well, not just that, but just overall, there's so much. It's a complex thing, but I do have a problem with this, and I'm a person that 100% believes in you hire the best people for jobs, right? But some of these situations where owners are hiring, it don't feel like they're picking the best person. What they're doing is they're picking the most familiar people.
Exactly.
And that's a problem, because here's the thing: if we And this is what happens to us as black people. We often aren't at the big table, in the big room, the boardroom where decisions are really made, or those relationships are made in a lot of cases. And so we're not going to have that super comfort level all the time, or often actually, where they're going to bring in that person. I've got a firm belief when hiring happens in the professional realm, that people tend to hire two types of people. They're either hiring in-laws or a version of themselves. And what I mean by that is an in-law professionally is somebody that you can see spending 8 hours a day with. Mm-hmm. Somebody that you feel like there's enough commonality that you can tolerate. You spend more time sometimes with the people you work with than you do with your own family. So you're looking for people you can bring in there and they're going to fit okay. Just like you would want an in-law to fit okay. And then the versions of yourself, what I mean is like people meet candidates, and then if they feel something about them, like, oh, he reminds me or she reminds me of me when I was in college, or me when I was playing sports, or me when I was doing this, or me when I was doing that, then there's automatic this connection and rapport, and then that person gets hired too. But here's my thing. What if you don't have any diversity in your life and have those types of relationships? When do those people get an opportunity? Because you ain't necessarily looking at them as possible in-laws, nor do they remind you of versions of yourself. So when do they get hired? When do they get those opportunities? Another thing somebody talked to me about, and we going hard on this. Usually this segment I don't go that hard, but we gonna go a little further. So there was somebody that pointed out the analogy of if all of a sudden hockey were to go and bring in all these black coaches, somebody would say, what is wrong? What's going on here, right? Now, hockey is 2% black.
Yep.
2% black. NFL is 70. 70. Now, that being said, that's 70, and I believe there is 32 teams. Is that correct? 32, so 32 teams, 70% black players, one black coach.
And when they implemented the Rooney Rule, that was 3.
Right. I'm just saying, make it make sense to me, y'all. I know somebody out there got an opinion. And once again, I keep a very open format. I'm very transparent with things. Please feel free to email me your opinions, your thoughts, your processing to askthekosh@gmail.com. Once again, that is askthekosh@gmail.com. I'm not saying that I am right, but I am saying like it gives me pause. Yep. And so make it make sense to me. Make it make sense to me in comparison to some of the other people that are getting these head coaching jobs.
And that was the sad thing, too, that when they showed the coaches that had been hired, there was only one with coaching experience, and that was Josh McDaniels. The rest had no coaching experience. So you want to go with the person that, like you said, they familiar instead of, going with the person that's been coaching for a few years,
and has good records or has shown incredible things. I mean, this Brian Flores, he was winning with the Dolphins. The Dolphins didn't have no squad.
Nope.
He started this, I think it was this past season. And know this, y'all. I don't even follow sports like that, but this has me fascinated. So I think he lost his first 7 games and came back to win the last 7 games. So that's saying something.
Yep.
And so I don't know. Once again, make it make sense to me.
It was actually 1-7, and then they won their last 8 to finish 9 and what was it? was it 9-8? They finished up 9-8.
Well, even if so, that's not even a losing season.
Nope,
But you got fired.
Yep. And then the year before they went 10-6.
Make it make sense to me, y'all. Make it make sense to me. Okay. Next segment, word association. This is where you take a word. I'm going to say a word, and you tell me what comes to mind when I say it. You ready?
Oh, yeah.
All right. First word, food.
Food. And, well, I got to say my favorite, even though stereotype, I was going to say chicken.
Hey, look, I don't care. I don't care. Look.
Give me my chicken and I'm good.
I'm with you on that one. Like, I have no shame about this because you and the Kosh listeners know I have brought up Popeyes in many episodes at this point because I'm stupid excited about
it's
Popeyes.
On its way.
They bringing Popeyes to Oshkosh. I don't know what took us so long. I was super mad at Oshkosh there when we didn't have a quality space chicken joint here forever. I was really mad because we really didn't. Except for I will give props. Shout out to Pizza Ranch.
Pizza Ranch.
That's good stuff.
I've had that. I've had their chicken there. Yep.
What's your favorite spot right now?
Oh man, I actually don't really have one right now. Not in the area. I just make my own pretty much.
Oh, you see, you done gave up.
But no, but we do have to what's the word I'm looking for? Our little wing off.
Oh,
that we had.
Oh, okay. For the Kosh listeners, just so you know, there was 1 year that me and Mr. Jackson here had a wing cook-off, and we went for it.
We went for it.
We put it down. The grills were hot. The chicken was amazing. The chicken wings were amazing. The family was over. The in-laws were cheered. Everybody had what they love, and actually, I'm gonna humbly admit KC won that year. Now that takes a lot for me to admit this because look, I handle business. If you know me and you know me and my grilling skills, I'm nice with it. But I'm gonna admit that KC won that year, and KC has and here's what I didn't know. KC's got a secret Lawry's mix.
Yeah,
he pulled out some old school Louisiana stuff that grandmama and auntie done told him about, and then he brought it on me, and I wasn't ready. I did not prepare myself for that level. So I agree. We need to bring that back.
All right, Bosco, you love me, don't you?
Yeah, Bosco, the podcast dog, once again has decided that he's going to, violate the guest and show much love. I'm gonna have to get him a treat. All right, so food, chicken wings.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Bosco.
The next word, cocktail or beer?
Cocktail.
Okay. What's the favorite?
The only thing I drink, rum and Coke.
This is true. Consistently.
Yes. For the last 20-something, 30 years. So, yeah, that's pretty much it.
I'm going to think, do you work in establishments and the minute you walk in, they just start making it because they just know?
Pretty much.
Pretty much?
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
All right. Rum and Coke it is. It ain't complex. Keeping it simple.
Keep it simple.
Okay. Streaming.
Actually, I've been getting into a lot of the what is it? It's a lot of different shows. I watch like NBC, ABC, CBS. So I have quite a few shows that I record, and just sit and watch.
What's your favorite right now?
My favorite, I watch the FBI's.
Oh,
There's like 3 of them. They kind of like the NCIS.
okay.
Even though I watch those too. I don't know. It's I'm big on stuff like the new Magnum PI, Blue Bloods.
Okay. Police shows?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do. You know, who else is out? There's quite a few, man. One I do like is The Blacklist.
Oh, okay. I've never watched an episode, but I've heard many people talk about it. Like that is
James Spader is, yeah.
Yeah.
He brings that show out. So
Okay. I'm gonna have to check that one out because I keep hearing too many good things. And it seems like that might be one to sit down. But I'm not gonna lie, I like to try to find those shows that are the 30, 45-minute bingers. That's where I'm at with things. If I can find that show that's a quality 30, 45 minutes, no commercials, just stream through, that's
well, I just found some of my old shows that I used to grow up listening to. I mean, I said listening, grew up watching, like Sanford and Son. I was actually found myself watching Gilligan's Island the other day.
Ooh. I'm not gonna lie, I liked Gilligan. But Sanford and Son, that's all of those Sanford and Son, Good Times, What's Happening, The Jeffersons, heck, even Archie Bunker.
Yeah, I did like Archie Bunker.
Archie Bunker was a fool.
Speaking of the Jeffersons, they just had a thing on the other day, because I think she's the only one that's still alive, Florence.
Oh.
And I didn't realize she was 90 years old.
Whoa.
Bruh.
Seriously?
Yes.
Man. It don't feel that long ago,
90. I'm like, wow.
Yeah. She was the one. You know what? When you think of Florence, she had fire for George.
Yes, she did.
Yeah, George has some pretty slick comments, but Florence always had fire for George. George had none for Florence. So, all right, shop local.
I'm not much of a shopper.
No.
I shouldn't even put myself on blast like this. That's why come Christmas time, man, I'm not one to. I will go out and I'll look for stuff, this and that, but man, I'm not a shopper at all.
Yeah.
No, I just rather give you cash and you go get what you need.
Hey, look, there's brilliance in that. I've learned that because look, that whole gift giving thing. I'm trying to get away from giving gifts, and I rather give experiences. Right, it's something my mama taught me. Give people experiences, and something my mom's been doing for years now. And she'd rather you go and have something that's going to give you a lifetime memory. Let me get you these tickets to this concert or this Bucks game or something like that, and go enjoy yourself and spend it with somebody special. And I'm trying to follow in those footsteps at this point in my life with the gifts that I give, because otherwise stuff just ends up somewhere on that shelf. Yeah. Eventually at the Goodwill or at or at the rummage sale, which I ain't knocking that either, because I do love to go to people's rummage sales and snag up good things that I know that somebody gave it to them for Christmas and it sat around for 3 years and now it's still in the box brand new, and I can get it for like 32 cents. So exactly. Yeah, so I ain't mad at the rummage sale sellers, but experiences, there's something to be said for that.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Well, we talked about this a little earlier, but I'm gonna go there anyway. Sports.
Yeah. Well, it used to be. There's only one sport for me.
Yeah.
That was basketball. But, for us watching, I love watching football. Okay. But that eventually is going to become baseball. Because if my little man playing baseball, so I'm have to, even though I did play a little bit, way back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, basketball was always my thing.
Were you a two-sport person?
I was high school and whatnot. I dabbled a little bit in college, but once I was in college, actually high school, I was, 3, track and field as well.
Oh, yeah.
But once I got to college, it was just basketball.
Okay. Who you like right now in the NBA?
I'm one of those ones, man. I can't even really sit and watch it now.
What?
Until until playoffs.
Oh.
Then playoffs come around, then I'll watch it. I'm just, I don't know, for years and years, I was way back when I first came to Oshkosh. Oh, I was big time Houston Rockets.
Okay.
Hakeem Olajuwon.
Yeah, they was good.
On them, and then I kind of shifted to the Spurs during that Tim Duncan era. Love me some Spurs. But now, I don't watch anybody now because the Spurs stink. And so I'll watch some games. It's just too bad that everything's going on with the Nets. I would have kind of liked to see how that could have turned out, with the Nets, with that 3-headed monster. But no, they're not meshing together.
Well, because they ain't really got to play together.
Exactly.
Right? Somebody's always injured.
I would have loved to seen, I know there's, you got a bunch of the old heads on the team, but just to see how the Lakers would have transformed. But I guess that ain't gonna work out either.
There's still time. You never know. They might gel by playoff time. I don't know. The Lakers, I ain't really feeling them. I ain't feeling the Nets. I don't really feel the super teams like that. Sometimes they do a good job putting together one, But I think you can't. Chemistry in basketball is too important, right? And so you just can't just take any old 3 superstars and put it together. And it definitely takes. I do believe it takes a super 3 to win a championship now, because I think that's just the standard.
They have to have chemistry, like you said. Yeah.
But they do have to have chemistry.
And that's what the problem is with the Lakers, is that you got LeBron, you got AD, and then you got Westbrook.
Mm-hmm.
But Westbrook is a different kind of player. And he's one of those ones that you can't, if you want to get the best out of him, you can't really harness him.
Right.
And that's what's happening with him with the Lakers, and that's why you're getting what you're getting from him. So, LeBron, he's LeBron. So.
Yeah. Westbrook, I think he has to be the franchise player on the team he plays for. Yep. He can't play second. And they have to build the offense around how he plays.
And that's why those guys couldn't stay together when they was in Oklahoma City.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they was younger at that time. But you had Harden, KD, and Westbrook. So,
all right. Resolutions. Do you do resolutions?
I don't. I have made them, but they don't come true.
Bro.
They don't come true. Yeah. And I guess I'm only, myself is only to blame. The reason why they don't. So, but I didn't make any this year.
No.
I didn't. I should have.
Yeah. All right. Anything you want to get done in 2022?
My resolution is to revamp my whole body so I can start playing ball again.
That's it, huh?
Yeah.
Oh,
But who knows that ain't going to happen.
bruh, that's big. Okay. I ain't gonna touch that no more. Hey, let me know when you hit that Y. I might come with you. I ain't trying to play no ball though.
But I ain't played and it's been a while. So I think I used to sleep with my basketball.
Oh.
I don't remember the last time I attempted a shot. So it's been a while.
Okay. Well, all right. So Kosh, if y'all out there, you see KC, let's encourage KC on about getting back on the court. We're gonna go on and encourage this young man to put the ball back in the hands and get back out here getting ball shape. That's good stuff. All right, next segment, Kosh Hidden Gems. Share with us about any hidden gems of Oshkosh.
I don't know, man. That's a good one. Hidden gems. I know. Crickets, man. I don't know, man. Maybe.
You know what? I'm a step in real quick because I got one, and I normally don't say anything on this segment, but I went to Bare Bones Brewery for the first time. And I didn't even, I kept hearing about it, but I didn't know where it was at. And I got a chance to actually go to a comedy show out there presented by Fox Valley Comedy. Shout out to Lyle. Big shout out to Lyle. And Bare Bones was so nice. Like, it was just welcoming. It was cool. It was simple. It just felt like a good place to be. So if you haven't had a chance to go out there, I just really enjoyed that.
I have not been there. I've passed by it.
Yeah.
But I met the owners one day. It was a while ago. But I haven't been there. I keep saying I want to stop out there and sit, but I haven't been there yet.
I got a chance to meet the owners too. Just hanging out there with the wife and checking out the comedy show, and got a chance to meet one of the owners, Patty. Super nice, just super nice, super kind. Gave time to talk to us. And you don't always get that, right?
Yeah.
You don't always get that. So I just want to say, I definitely want to encourage that. I'm going to go back. Me and the wife both said that's a spot we could definitely see. There was a couple of dogs in there when we were there, so we decided that we can bring Bosco, the podcast dog, bring his old naughty self there with us. I'm sure he will do what he does. Somebody's getting licked. That's how it's going down. But it just seemed like a super nice place.
Actually, I was sitting there thinking, I'm like, hidden gem. Right here in front of me. Here's a hidden gem. My first podcast right here. Not saying that it's hidden, but still a gem.
Yeah, we're still growing, and I appreciate that. We're definitely growing. We got a nice following of individuals that do pay attention. I appreciate y'all for tuning in week after week to these podcasts, and I just keep trying to bring really cool, interesting guests on here, and may create something to be proud of locally.
Yep.
Yeah. What's the Kosh need?
What does this Kosh need? More things to do, man.
More things to do. Well, okay, that's a loaded question. So now I'm gonna ask all sorts of stuff. What else would you like to do? Because I do feel like Oshkosh has tried to up their game. You know, there's definitely I feel like an organized effort to bring more stuff, particularly in the downtown area. Myself, you know, we've got our we got the people who promote Oshkosh. Big shout out to Amy Albright, you know, or Amy Secker. There is I just think there's huge opportunity. Like they're trying. Like there's things. But
you know, don't get me wrong. You can drive around town and see, you know, that it's growing.
right.
It's gradually growing. Like if you go out 21, like how that's just starting to blow up in that area. And that's where that Popeyes is going to be. so it's going to be a lot of traffic over there. So, but yeah, you can see it, but you know, and when I say something to do, you know, besides drinking,
Yes.
and you know, like I got my family's gonna be coming up here in June, and want to have they coming from Houston, Louisiana, California, and they coming. We take a big family trip every year, and they come into Wisconsin. So would love to have them, things for them to do. But when they get here, I have to take them. I'm taking them to the Dells.
Oh, okay.
So
that's a good
to
time.
the water parks and whatnot. So, so I don't know. It's just I know Oshkosh is growing, but it's just like
I agree with you. The one thing I think, I do think there's a nice concerted effort of different things that, and we're going through this pandemic transition, right? But I do think the one thing that the Kosh could do a better job of, we need more things for kids. Like I don't, there's not enough, things for kids to do. To me, and I miss when I came up, you couldn't do nothing else. You could talk your parents into taking you to like Chuck E. Cheese, Shakey's, the Ground Round, something, right?
Yep.
And we don't have. Well, I guess we do.
You got the. I don't know if a lot of people have been, but you have the mine shop now.
Yeah.
They have the little game room.
I do like the game room there.
But I was looking at something like, and back in the day, you remember Golf Central?
Mm.
And they had that whole back part was all for the kids.
Yeah, that was Golf Central. That was cool.
As well as you go out the door and you had all of the jumpies and all the stuff outside as well. So
yeah,
they need something like that,
Yeah, Golf Central is good. I'm with you. Okay. Next segment, the Naughty / Heroes Corner. This is your opportunity to nominate something, whatever it is, to the Naughty or the Heroes Corner.
The Naughty or the Heroes Corner. Who do I want to nominate? Yeah, man, it's gonna be a lot of crickets. I'll nominate to the Heroes Corner I don't know, my karaoke show.
There you go. Why not?
You know, I'm nominated to the Heroes Corner.
Okay. Tell us about the karaoke show. Well, actually, don't tell us about the karaoke show because we'll get to that. All right, and you know, I'm gonna you know what I'm gonna give the Kosh listeners the background about what's really happening here because I think y'all need to know so you can understand what's really happening. All right, if you are a listener of the Kosh and if you are new to the Kosh, we record the Kosh early on Saturday mornings. It's the thing. My whole reason for doing that because there's actually a logic behind it. I record early on Saturday mornings because people tend to be. It's fresh, right? I've done shows like when people were after work and and then the mind's not working right. The mind is just shut down, and they haven't. It's not they lose some of the quick wit and some of the quick answers they might have and some of that. And in our case for this episode here with our friend Mr. Jackson, he did carry. You will learn about him in karaoke, and that happened last night. So right now he's on continuation from last night. So even though I'm recording in the morning to get people fresh day, Mr. Jackson here is like he's still from last night.
It's the end of the day.
It's the end of the day. That's right. It's not the beginning of the day. So basically what I did was I made the mistake of catching him after work. And that is what we are experiencing right now. So we're going to be kind to Mr. Jackson. All right. You know what? We're going to roll. I think it's about that time and it is. Yes, I'm trying out these new sound effects, y'all. I hope y'all appreciate this. It is time for the topic of the week. And this topic of the week is Karaoke King. I don't think there's a more appropriate name for who Mr. Jackson has come to be around here in the Kosh. And I think it's a good opportunity for Mr. Jackson to share, because he is a well-known individual about his business with karaoke, maybe some of the stories of the wonderful things that it has helped to make and how it's connected with people. So,
well, I have no idea how they came up with that title of Karaoke King. Karaoke King. But I've been doing karaoke for, it's probably been at least a good over 20 years.
Bruh. Seriously?
Yeah. I've had, it used to, many, many years ago, it used to be the Brian and Casey show.
I remember that.
Unfortunately, my good friend Brian, passed away. So I continued by myself. But I don't know. I just enjoy doing it. I enjoy. I guess from my time of even before the karaoke, I was in the band, the Shagadelics.
I remember that.
Yeah.
They were good
back in the day. So, but I just enjoy, letting people get up there to sing, whether you're good or bad, whatever it is, as long as you're having fun. That's kind of my motto.
How'd you get into it?
I first got into it when I was in college. A friend of mine that lived in the dorms with me started telling me about this place that she worked at. She's like, oh, because they knew I sing. No, in college, and at the time, it was the Holiday Inn. It used to be here, and they're like, oh yeah, telling me that they work at the Holiday bartend, and that this lady does karaoke there, that I should come up and sing. So I did, and that's when I met my friend Trina for the first time. She was the one that was doing the karaoke. So and it just kind of went from there. And even when I eventually moved to Oshkosh, I was still going to the karaoke shows. So basically, by word of mouth, because before I came to Wisconsin, I didn't even know what karaoke was. So
Bruh.
I had never even heard of karaoke.
Okay. How has it connected with the community?
You have some people that, this is the thing with, you have some people, if you mention karaoke to them, and they, oh man, I ain't going to no karaoke show. But if you get them there, they're totally different.
I agree with that.
I'm
one of those people.
Once you get them there, it's totally different. But if you mention it, like, I don't really want to go to no karaoke show, But I think it helps some people, because some people know that they'll never get that opportunity to be. That's the opportunity to get on stage, and this helps too. But the percentage. It's hard for me to say what the percentage is of the people that do like it, because there's still a lot of people out there that do like karaoke.
Yeah.
But there's some that just I can live without it.
I think people, even if you're not, like, it's intimidating to go up there and sing, right? But I do think even if you don't want to, it's still a great entertainment element to it, right? Like, I may not want to get up there and sing, but I do like watching others. And because there's always some people that will surprise you, right? And let me tell you, I've gone and I have definitely made a fool of myself multiple times during some karaoke situations. Let me tell you something. There's one time where the Coco Cabana, me and TNT and a group of my in-laws, boy, that wasn't pretty. And I don't know nothing about no Coco Cabana, but somehow I was up on that stage doing that. And yeah, that wasn't hot.
I just saw on my Facebook page it says memories or whatnot, and the picture with me and you popped up. Mr. Jackson plus Mr. Smith equals pure comedy.
Oh, that's facts. That's facts. I've learned some hard lessons messing around with karaoke too. One of the hard lessons is this: don't pick songs with lots of words. Now, I made the mistake one time that, there's that song. There's always that song that you think you know. You done sung it a million times in your head, and but when it comes down to it, all you really know is the chorus. And you know who got me? Outkast.
Okay.
Now, I am an hardcore avid Outkast fan, and if more so, I'm an Andre 3000 fan. I love me Outkast and Andre 3000. Right now, I do believe they are my favorite group. Used to be Tribe Called Quest for a long time, but I tried to do like Roses. That was a horrible idea because there's a lot of words in Roses, and as much as you think you have sung it, and you think you know what he's saying. You don't know what he's saying.
You don't know what he's saying.
You do not know what he's saying, and they put that screen in front of you, and them words are flying by, and you're just like, and I'm just stumbling over all of it. And after a while, I just gave up and just sung the chorus. That's what you got to do sometimes when you having a karaoke train wreck.
Oh, it happened to a few last night. So
It happened to a few last night.
it did. Yep, they just said, here, gave me back the microphone.
Just gave it back.
It's like, why is that going so fast? It's not. It's just, that's the speed of the song.
That's the song, right? So I've learned that valuable lesson. How did you find, now part of the karaoke show is you singing some things, and you handle it. How did you find your gift and your songs that you like to sing, and how'd you figure out you could sing? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, back in the day when I heard KC does karaoke and they was like KC could sing, I was like, who? What? KC? Wait, we talking about the same KC? And they was like, oh yeah, and I went and saw it, and I was like, whoa, my man can sing.
Actually, I didn't figure out that I could sing. No, God rest her soul, my grandmother did.
Yeah.
And this started back in growing up in church. Normal, young little kids, you sit in the back of the church with your friends or whatnot. My grandmother wasn't having none of that. She come by there and grab you by the ear and pull you out, put me right up in the choir stand.
What?
So she used to make me get up in the choir stand, and then in high school I sang in chorus or whatnot. And I don't know. It's tough for me to pinpoint when I actually. I know I could sing, and did all the different stuff, sang some choruses and in college, whatnot. But I don't know when did I figure out that I could sing R&B, and I don't know, my times of maybe from back when I was in college listening to Keith Sweat.
Oh, that'll do it. I ain't gonna lie, Keith Sweat. Ooh, I know there's people out there right now that hit home. That hit home. Keith Sweat and Luther used to run it.
Luther and Keith Sweat.
They ran it. All right, I feel that. So Casey, what is, for the Kosh listeners, and now we done talked about it a little bit. I'm sure people are like, oh well, I'm gonna see what they're talking about. So what is the official name of your karaoke business, and where you currently, what nights, where you at, what you doing?
Well, it's basically it's like I say, I keep it simple, just like my drink, karaoke with Casey. One of the places I do play is every Friday night, Legends Sports Bar and Grill downtown, right downtown Oshkosh.
On Main Street.
Main Street.
Yep.
I play there at Friday nights at 10 o'clock. I start, which, like I said before, man, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So I play there on Fridays, and then Saturdays I jump around different places. Like this Saturday, I'm at doing a 28th anniversary at Dab's Spare Time.
Oh, okay. That should be a good time.
Yeah, and that one's a little earlier. That one starts at 7.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna warn you, Kosh listeners, by the time this episode come out, he would have already have done this.
Yeah.
So don't go looking for Deb Spare Time's 28th anniversary in KC doing karaoke, because that is today.
That's today.
And this episode is not coming out today.
But yeah.
Anywhere else? What's your favorite place to do karaoke at?
Favorite? I'm one of those ones. I don't really have no favorite place. No, I tell you, my favorite place used to be, which place doesn't exist anymore, was Kodiak Jack's.
Oh yeah, okay.
No,
I agree.
That used to be my favorite place, but that place is no longer there anymore. So I don't really know. I love Planet Legends. Like all the different places that I played at, I enjoy playing there. So I don't really necessarily pinpoint a favorite place.
Okay.
I did quite a few. I did some stuff down at the Hangar. I'm trying to, man. See, that's what happens when you get old, man.
Hey, you ain't got to tell me.
The memory starts to go.
Yeah, nope. I feel you on that. 100%. I will say I also really used to enjoy the Kodiak Jacks. I had a good time down there, and that was the first time. Shout out to Miss Jackson. Mrs. Jackson. That's the first time I ever saw you and your wife sing together.
Yep.
And y'all killed it. I didn't, and see, once again, I didn't even know she could sing. So I was like, whoa, okay.
See, and just like me years ago, there was the place that we used to go to. When I found out she could sing, it was the Pioneer Inn.
Oh, now
back.
Now that's way back. Now we dating things. See, there's gonna be people listening and be like, "What are they talking about?" We talking about old school OG things.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, how does a person, let's say they want to book you for karaoke, how does that happen?
I've come to find out that I've gotten texts from people, and I have no idea how they got my number.
Word of mouth.
Asking me about karaoke, which is fine, but usually, I don't have a website, anything. We used to, when it was the Brian and Casey show, we used to have a website. But when he passed away, I didn't keep it up or whatnot. So,
Okay.
I just usually, like you say, by word of mouth, pretty much. I give people my number or whatnot, and they can call me. But that's usually how it pretty much happens. They'll get my number from someone and give me a call, but you can always find me. I'm usually, if someone really that doesn't know anyone that knows how to get in touch with me, you can I would even tell them at Legends. You can call Legends, and I tell them if someone calls it in regards to karaoke, just give them my number.
All right. Well, we're gonna put that offer out here on the Kosh also. So the Kosh here is a way to get in contact with Mr. Jackson here, and do not hesitate to reach out to the Kosh and let us know. And if anyone is interested in these services, and they are amazing services, please let us know.
And just so they know, it's not just karaoke either. It's also DJ music.
We DJ. Nice.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So we do weddings. We do all the things.
Try to.
Try to.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fantastic.
Yeah, they even make me sing at some of them.
Oh, I know that's gonna happen.
Yeah,
There's no doubt about that. All right. Anything else you want to add?
No, just just to tell everyone, continue to support, the karaoke shows. It's gotten, because at one point, especially here in Oshkosh, karaoke was huge. You can go just about anywhere around town and find a karaoke show. But then it kind of died off, and then kind of the bands took over. But then that died off or whatnot. So karaoke's come back around. It's just, don't look at it as though you're trying to outdo the next person, right, this and that. It's, in my case, it was set up just for people to have fun.
Right.
Come there, a way to get up on the microphone, sing, have a beverage of choice, whether it be soda or whatever that is, and just enjoy yourself. It's not a competition, but then you say that, and then someone gets up, and then I get up and I sing a song, and they think I'm trying to outdo them. No, I'm just singing a song.
Right.
So regardless of what your voice sounds like, just always remember when you come to my show, it's not a competition.
Right.
If I'm having a competition, then that's different.
Right.
That's different.
That's different.
But
all right. Okay. Well, I think that was good. I think that's important to let people know. Not a competition. Just come and have a good time. Exactly. And I definitely used to go. It was always I didn't follow the karaoke nights, but if I ran into one when I was out and about, it was always a really good time. And I'm not gonna lie, there's been many a time at this point that I decided to go on and be bold and make the common mistake of definitely trying to do something that I shouldn't be doing. But you know what? It ain't my first time. It ain't gonna be my last time. And if you see Timber out and about and there's karaoke, beware. It just might go down. You ain't gonna be happy about it, but it just might go down anyway. So, okay, well, that was awesome. I appreciate that. All right, this is the part of the show where we get ready and we start getting ready to wrap things up. Once again, to the Kosh listeners out there, we are a work in progress. We are always trying to improve. We're trying to grow. The show is transitioning. We're doing new things. And while we do this, I appreciate y'all coming along on this journey with us. I can't tell you enough. I appreciate all of the people that reach out, the emails. You'd be surprised. There's just good people out there, the people who want to be guests. Thank you. And once again, please, please, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. Email us at askthekosh@gmail.com. Once again, that is askthekosh@gmail.com. Also, I'm going to keep mentioning this. There is a new segment that I want to roll out, but until I get some people to participate in it, I can't roll it out yet, but it is called Ask the Kosh, and I want y'all to give me a call and leave me a voicemail. I got a nice little Google number here. Please call, leave us a voicemail. I'm going to play the question on the air, and then we're going to talk about it. All right. And that phone number is 920-385-9298. Once again, that is 920-385-9298. I am eager to get for somebody to be bold enough and send us that first question. We gonna try to talk about some things, you feel me on that, KC?
Oh yeah.
All right. Now, you know what time it is? I'm gonna tell you what time it is. It is shout out time. Shout out time is like my favorite time of the show. So it is time for you to give shout outs. What you got, KC? Who you want to shout out?
Well, I'm sending a shout out to my lovely wife and my daughter and son. Also send a shout out to the place I play at every Friday, out to the Legends. Send a shout out to my family back in Louisiana, Houston, which I have them all over California, Oklahoma City, Michigan, all over. Just I'm gonna send a shout out to all of Oshkosh.
I like that.
One love.
That's beautiful. I feel you on that. Shout outs for me. I'd like to send, once again, I'd like to send a shout out to Fox Valley Comedy, particularly to Lyle. Thank you for putting on amazing shows here in Oshkosh. There's nothing better than the feeling of laughter. If you've been out there and if you ever see these shows publicized and you haven't been to one, you need to go, because these comics are quality. They really, and there's nothing better than laughter. I want to send another shout out again to Bare Bones Brewery. Thank you for being so kind. Thank you for having a great venue. Thank you for having really good drinks. Let me tell you something. They got drinks, and they make their own vodka. And I had some of that vodka, and it was really good vodka. So shout out to them. And me and the wife do plan on coming back. Shout out to Patty, who we met, who's one of the owners of Bare Bones Brewery. I'd like to send a shout out to everyone out there. All the practitioners, all the workers, all the people who are doing different events and celebrating Black History Month. I thank you. I appreciate the work that's being done out there, out in communities, inside of schools and workplaces, in the nonprofit sector. I appreciate you and the efforts being put forth to just help with this Black History thing. What I'm always hoping for is that we get to the point that we don't need this month, and that it's just part of the fabric of American history all the time. And that's where I want to get to. Shout out to the wife, the daughter, and once again, and you know what? In this case, I'm going to give a shout out to Bosco, the podcast dog, because he finally decided that he was going to quit harassing Mr. Jackson over here and actually sit down and take a nap. Thank you, Bosco, for stopping being so doggone naughty.
Appreciate it, Bosco.
Yeah, I know, right? He a trip. Okay, last segment, parting words of wisdom. Casey, what you got for the Kosh listeners?
Parting words of wisdom. Only thing I could think is, man, going through this right now, through this pandemic, everybody, be responsible, stay safe, be courteous of the person next to you. It's the only way. That's the only way that we're gonna get through this, where it's not called a pandemic anymore, and you can somewhat live a normal life. So, just everybody, stay as safe as possible. Be courteous of your fellow man. And like I said, one love.
And that is 100. Hey, thank you, Casey, for coming on here. Appreciate you, man.
I appreciate you having me, man.
All right. Thank you, Kosh listeners. The Kosh.